chills.
You make me feel. Now slide your key in. Ooh, it gives me chills. And with your engine trapped between my thighs, it's a power rush, a burning bush. You make me wanna fly. Oh, in and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Pour it on, boy. Take me to the night. And ain't no stopping. So what's the use in trying? Destination. Baby, all I know is that you and me were meant to be. Never let me go. Out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy, going through my head. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I never thought that love makes you crazy. I never thought that love makes you high. I only hope that love is forever. I only hope that love never dies. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind blowing through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Never let me go. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy, going through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I like the way that you make me feel.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? I know. I love you too. Yeah. It's good. Good. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Making Pax Stereo, the behind-the-scenes show, the weekly series that this week is coming a little bit late. But this is the behind-the-scenes meeting that Vic and I do. And what happened was, for those of you who don't know, the origin of the show is that we've been asked by many of our friends and associates to allow them to see behind the scenes. And because Vic and I believe in this concept that we call, and other folks have called, radical transparency, where we like to let you see behind the scenes. It was not an issue for us. And so this weekly meeting, which, you know, it's an informal meeting, but we always, and we have other meetings.
Yep.
But this is the biggest one where we set a time to go over stuff sort of for the week. Because I have to publish the drum, I have to do a few things. So you guys get to sit and watch. Everything is totally unscripted, and it's reality television. Mm-hmm. Vic, how would you describe it, Vic?
For me, I just look at it as, I call it a wrap-up, because most of the stuff we already know. What we're doing, just coming in here and just saying, hey, where's the development, where the stages are. So it's not that we're actually introducing new stuff here. It's as much as what is already taking place. And then letting people know how we have to commit to projects and see how they evolve and transfer from, say, this video that people are going to see to something to, you hear me say a lot, actionable items. So to me, this is more or less stating the case of what has already taken place, and then what other actionable items will we be addressing and doing. So for me, you know how the routine is. We know what happens on Tuesday nights. It's what's happening on the other projects as well.
Well, let's review the state of the actionable items. What Vic is talking about are the efforts that we are making as indies and the same steps that you could do for your business. Remember, part of the reason for watching this or even being behind the scenes is because it may apply to your own business, your own things that you're doing. And so that's the whole idea of this. But the actionable items that we're talking about are the ways that those of us who develop video content go about the steps that are necessary to learn about the ongoing management and control of that product. Okay? So we are looking at how we're going to control our product, where we place our product, and then opening up new opportunities for that product. And so we've initiated some things, and so I'm running lead dog on that, then bringing Vic up to date until the point to which we implement. Because right now it's still a technical phase for everything. And so last time we watched a 30-minute video. So there's only so much of a degree of technical,
right,
that Vic has a good overview already, kind of what we're happening. So I'm just sort of giving an update on that. Okay, and then we'll do the schedule. So the actionable items are really initially have to do with Wowza. For those of you not familiar, Wowza is the platform that many people are using today to stream to the internet. Now, why Wowza? Because it allows a lot of control. The reason why we're switching, well, we're not switching. We're continuing everything we've been doing. We've been streaming to live stream, both in high quality and mobile. We've been streaming to Ustream in both high quality and mobile. And we've been streaming, simulcasting, shoutcast radio all along. Now, we're working on adding a high def stream. Okay, and where we're sending that right now is being sent to live stream, but we're experimenting now. All that continues to go. Okay, but where Vic talks about the actionable items, the big area has to do with our expansion with Wowza. So we initiated our accounts. We have the Wowza streaming engine, and we also have the Wowza cloud.
Right.
So we have both services because it really has to do with me as a techie. I put it on myself to know and investigate both services and know their full features. And for that kind of cost that it's $65 for one and I think $45 for another. So for that kind of a cost, a little bit over $110, somewhere around that a month, it's worth it even for the learning experience, to learn how to manage and control all these levels of distribution, because then you know what's available. So it's a mindset. Vic and I have talked about this, so he knows what I try to do. I try to find the best tools and then make the investment. So we're stepping up. Now, Wowza allows me to basically set up all kind of streams, high def, standard definition, pay-per-view, subscription services, okay, live event things, all kinds, every kind of way, every kind of template. Wonderful. I totally recommend those of you who are interested in looking at streaming platforms, look at the streaming engine, even though I know it's probably too technical for a lot of people. For me, it's wonderful. They have great tutorials, everything. It's kind of easy, I thought, as compared to, say, Facebook. But you have motivations there. So anyway, we have the Wowza streaming engine, the Wowza cloud. They already reached out to us and has noted that we have both and wanted to talk about our plans, so I'm going to be responding to the rep.
Right. Is there a way of saying we want to secure that it has the greatest success? They don't want to see it, the turnover. I mean,
they want us to be successful with it. So that's what Vic and I have learned, is to try to take advantage of the support services when they reach out, because they are helpful. And plus, you learn the other part that's probably maybe even more important. You learn about what support services do.
Right.
And that has shocked us over the years, right, Vic?
Right, because the culture, basically, if you come from the internet from the old years back, the customer service, the biggest complaint with dealing with any apps of any services was just this detachment from real people.
You couldn't get any
couldn't
help.
get anyone. So now
You
they've
couldn't
turned
get
that
any
into a
help.
value stream.
Well, certain
It's
ones.
simple.
GoDaddy is
Well,
still
yeah.
exceptional. GoDaddy is probably the best customer service I've ever experienced in anything.
Well, yeah,
online.
that's a monster.
In anything
right there.
online.
Yeah, that's a monster.
I'm just I can't even. They don't even bullshit.
Right.
Number one to me.
Right.
Check them out. They're wonderful. Okay, so but I love Wowza's setup. I'm setting up all of our stuff, all of the kind of streams, specifically the high def streams, our subscription services. Because we've already talked about we're going to be launching the Pax Stereo subscription service, and Vic and I, because we wanted to have a very modest start, because it's all experimental. But then again, this data will tell you there's data out there that says if you make it too low a cost, you don't gain any additional benefit. It looks like our cost will be $3.99 a month, roughly, with a basic cost of $19.99 if you pay for the year.
They'll say well, you know what they'll say is that you found a way to do a baseline service, and then it's how it's going to go scalable.
Because it's
Exactly.
whatever. That's where Vic and I are starting. See,
Yeah.
Vic and I, we know how we do this. Then he and I will scrutinize it.
Right.
But these are our basic starting areas.
Right.
And then we're going to also look at pay-per-view events. To everything that's offered, we're going to try to run some model of it because I have to investigate it. Now, let me tell you this. One of the things that's coming up is that we are going to do some pay-per-view. Ustream stopped their own pay-per-view service, and it was one of the easiest. And so we set up an account with the people that they're referring everybody to, and that's Kling. There's a picture of it right there. So we have an account. And even as part of their setup, they have it set up for you to do a pay-per-view event that's free. And then for that, they don't charge you any extra. It's nothing. Because they want you to have the experience of making it run. And you can do as many of those, I think, as you want.
Right.
As many pay-per-view events that are free. Now, what's the benefit? The benefit is you get to control all the other parameters, right?
Right.
How they register, what they are required to do to register, see?
Right.
And that's the part we need to experiment with, too. So specifically, I need to experiment with the whole setup of the pay-per-view event, what we require of them because it's free. And then go over that with Vic in the upcoming days. Okay? Because we have coming up in the announcement, we have an event with Nils on 8:30 on the 30th of this month, this coming Sunday.
Yep.
And so I want to set up all these things to be available then, even if just an experiment.
Right.
So that's what we're working on. Both the high def broadcasts, a bunch of the pay-per-view for free pay-per-view. And then also what we're going to be doing in terms of the mix and capture, because we're going to be doing live sound. Vic's going to be doing live video,
Right.
and I'm going to be doing live sound
Yep.
right there at the event on top of everything. So it's going to be a wonderful event this Sunday. We'll talk about that a little later, but just know that these technologies will be used and available and promoted. The Kling pay-per-view, even though you don't have to watch it, you can watch it your normal ways. But if you're the type of person who's thinking about doing some of this stuff for yourself and you want to see what we're doing as we experiment, come and join. Be a beta tester. For sure. For sure. Come join and check it all out. And reach out to me. I'll set you up or make sure you get set up. It's not an issue. We look for people to test. Vic and I are doing the thing. So know that we're going to be expanding. Now, as part of that, we're looking at other streams. One of the streams we're working on right now, it's in beta test, is Vic's View Cam. This is Vic's view on the world. It's a camera that goes out his window. He can aim it wherever he wants in his office. But right now we have it as the basic out the window. Mm-hmm. But then when we need to, when he wants to go live, like in the morning, he can go and do it and sit there. So the idea is to practice dealing with a 24-hour broadcast stream and ways to present it, because they have everything from me. I can time it when it goes live. He can go live manually.
Right.
The control aspects are phenomenal. So Vic and I, once again, because our ultimate goal is to make a more interactive type of broadcast that involves the way I see it, we could be at lunch and adjusting the broadcast from our phones. That's the way I see it, and that's the
Right.
standard.
Right.
And then we could be in different parts of the world and communicating, doing the same thing.
Right.
So that's why I'm committed to like the cloud stuff too, because for us it's a way of learning. We've always worked certain ways, so for us this is a continuation of those things. Now, Vic, as I'm learning to understand, the Wowza streaming engine is actually connected. You could have it on more than one computer. I don't understand that either.
Right.
But it's right now I have it on this computer, and I've relabeled the HP desktop to have Wowza engine in the front.
Okay.
On my side, you can't see it.
Right. Okay.
I put the
On
tape.
your
Yeah, I
side.
have the tape.
Okay. I
But
got
just so you know, we keep it on anyway. But it's running the Wowza engine,
Okay.
the streaming engine, which is the one that's not in the cloud.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give me that. Yeah.
So there's one.
Yeah.
There's one that you run yourself, and there's one in the cloud.
Gotcha.
And the one in the cloud is limited in terms of hours, very much what you can do with it. That's the one that's on very strict usage.
Okay. So when you reboot that computer, any disciplines that you were following?
No,
by?
it does
Okay,
everything
good.
automatic.
Good. That's what I want to make sure.
That's what they made it like. So it's like one of those in the background thing.
Gotcha.
You could theoretically would be invisible.
Right. Okay.
So we'll see. I was letting you know because that's what we'll see, right?
Right.
But theoretically, that's the way. And so and if something's running, I don't know. So we'll see.
Okay.
I don't know because I'm just learning it. So the streaming engine here,
Right.
the cloud too, I learned both. But I just can tell you the one that's in the cloud is the one we have to be very specific. What happens is, let me see if I can show you some pricing stuff. So for the streaming cloud is a higher level pricing, Vic. But I'm committed to learning the different ones, okay? Mm-hmm. So the basic account was $15 a month, which allowed you $2 a month, and any additional hours would be $6 an hour, okay? Now, it also charged you 9.5 cents per gigabyte. So the next plan up, almost everything is the same cost, just less of it.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the best bargain was the $50 a month cloud, just for now, because I'm just letting you know that it's limited. It's going to be $10, but notice the cost per hour stays very close. But if you look at the network usage cost, it drops dramatically. 0.09. It drops.
Right.
They all drop. So that's the one. So 10 hours. We're just going to try to work with certain things
Okay.
to learn how the functionality is and what's the difference. So we may be using it for stuff like this. I don't know yet. That's why I have to learn a little bit more.
Okay.
But I got enough for us to experiment with.
Okay.
That's why I got the 10 hours.
Cool.
So I figure we could do $50 an hour,
Right.
$50 a month, and then if we go over, make sure it's a minimum of less than $50 more,
Okay.
and then try to understand it long term. So that would be the goal as we attempt to control the broadcasting.
Okay.
Because Vic and I still don't know. Still not sure we have new shows coming. All the new shows and this show tier are going to be uploaded in high definition to the other accounts. That's part of the experiment. Mm-hmm. And also, we're going to be changing our uploads to YouTube to be high definition uploads.
Yep.
Okay? So we're doing that again to up the ante on everything. I just want everybody to know. This is as much as I can tell you because I'm working with it. But it's wonderful. You can go up there and take a look yourself. So we also have Victor's View Cam coming in. We're going to be streaming our regular broadcasting in high def. These are the things we expect to be doing, at least initially. Streaming our regular broadcast in high definition to a subscription account, which will be given away to a bunch of people free for a year.
Right.
If you're one of our good avid users, you'll get a free subscription for a year or two. Okay? So we'll have our regular broadcast. Then we have our special events in high def, including concerts like the things coming up with Neil. Pay-per-view events that for now will be zero
Right.
cost, but you have to go through all the registration process, which does not include using a credit card.
Right.
So those are the things coming right now. So we'll be testing out the subscription service, which will be given away to the beta testers. So this is what we got everybody to understand. So these are the things, and the pay-per-view events, both within Wowza and the pay-per-view events within Kling. Initially, Kling. Why? Because Wowza, I ain't got to it yet. Kling is basically easier to set up. So we'll try to have Kling set up for Sunday. But Wowza, I don't think we will.
Right.
Okay? So that's the actionable items. Now, all of these things allow for you to monetize because the subscription service isn't obvious, right? You get to control how much, any kind of special. They have all kind of templates for specials, and so you have your one-time event charge events things, and all the processing is done through their billing service, which is nominal again.
Right.
Minimal costs on those things. Okay, so all the billing and stuff is handled through them, and they take their percentages anyway. And so that's why we're practicing using those things. And I told you, I think for the Kling, again, I think it was like was it like $1, Vic? It was like $1.15. We'll come back Kling.
Yeah, I can't
something. I will report on that later. You can go look yourself. Kling was something like for a paid event, a minimum of 99 cents, and then 15% or something.
Right.
But you could do free events with no charge. So we're going to do free events to test the setup.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're in the ballpark. You're plus a minute, just cents. You're in the ballpark though.
Okay, so because that's what we're looking at. So that's why, everybody. So when you talk about monetization, these are very specific things that anybody who's producing content should think about doing. Pay-per-view, video on demand. That's the one I forgot to say specifically. Pay-per-view, video on demand, and subscription services. Okay, those three. Pay-per-view events, special events, video on demand, that means the ability to access the video after the event, right? And then the subscription services.
Yep.
So we're moving full bore into all three of those through the Wowza platform, and we invite you all to attempt to do. So that's the good news. So Vic, those things are paid for,
right?
Set up, confirmation things.
Okay.
I'm trying, and it's installed. I just don't. I'll be getting there, and that's why I will soon. Just like we know for coming very soon, perhaps next week, we'll be incorporating Meerkat and Periscope into these broadcasts too live. So we know that that's coming up right now. Right now, because of other things, we have a bunch of things on our plate. So it's easy to hold off on certain things because we know we can do it and we don't want to kill ourselves right now. So we got to pace it. Let's get everything in and get it in a way where it's not taxing. Then we know we can run Periscope and Meerkat. We do it for Quiet Storm. We're going to do it for more shows, but what we need to do first is take care of some of these other things. Because that's the way it feels to me. I'm just overwhelmed a little bit.
Right.
Okay, Vic, so that's the state of the art for Wowza and what's coming up. I'm going to try to have Kling ready, okay? And I'm also going to try on the experimental side. You know, the experiment was that I will be trying to tie in the Vic's view cam.
Yeah, it would be great if D-Link had a social media, but it'll be good practice because the nature of how you use it on demand, because it works both ways. It's on demand live.
Yeah, where we put it, because once I tie it into the Wowza thing, there's a bunch of social media stuff that I could do.
Right.
I just don't understand it yet, but there's everything. It's a bunch of stuff in terms of notices, things, sendings, all of that. That's where you and I go back and make some branded materials related to it and stuff.
Right.
But I know it's all there. That's why we did it. We did it for the ultimate control. I know they offer me full control of everything.
Right.
Okay, let me see. Here's the intro. Okay, no, that's different. So we don't need to talk about that. We'll let that go. There's Kling. Okay, so having said that, actionable items, that's the main thing Vic was talking about in terms of actionable items, in terms of revenue streams. Now, the fact that we're integrating all of this into the websites, including the .biz site, all the sites slowly as we upgrade, the full website integration is underway too. Little sloppy this week, mainly because they did a software upgrade And since I had just learned it, can you guys imagine that? I had just learned it. Then they upgraded it and changed a bunch of stuff. Now, here's the good news. The upgrades look phenomenal. I just don't know how to do them.
Right.
They look phenomenal, so I am not complaining. I'm just saying I got to go back and go slow again to learn how to upgrade the slider and stuff. But the slider looks phenomenal. What they added, Vic, was parallax and a bunch of stuff, okay?
Right.
Into the slider.
Right. No, I understand it.
So I'm like, okay, give me a minute.
Well, and it's not really, and the thing that we're working on also, because we have this habit of doing this, is that and it's a good thing because we get good results out of it. Is as soon as we get into project mode, we start what we call compiling, because we want to actually see what we get the results out of it. So we're always focused on, say, like the Nils project. Nils Jipner is going to be here Sunday, going live, doing his reality live jam music session, more soft R&B, but mostly jazz. So we implement what we call, whether it's apps or these techniques of showing you the broadcast and then testing out the actionable items that we're discussing here today. But we also are staying focused on the point that we don't want to get away from the message at hand. For the viewers like yourself, all you want to see is how good is the music, how good is the stream, and then is it a good show? And so we're always building in that. And usually when we do what we're doing now, we get good results out of it because we say, hey, we tried this worked, this did not work. We ran into that the other day where a schedule change prompted us to say, wow, I wish they didn't change the schedule. But then when we backed up and said, oh my God, we wouldn't have been able to pull off the meeting in a recordable sense because we ran into some other
huge technical
other issues,
and it's going to be ongoing because of the Windows things. Windows forcing you to do certain things, and when you're on the Windows platform, tempting to do it. Did a partial movement of certain systems, but still, it's interesting. It depends on what the system is doing. So I can't even give you in general, it's still positive, but different systems have different issues.
Yeah,
and I'm working on it.
Yeah, and to me, anybody,
and you will too.
Anybody who's working with Windows, all you're doing is trying to maximize the level of efficiency and optimization because you're not going to get 100%. If it's Windows environment, and it's not a knock on them, but when you're streaming and you're running those new updates they're doing with the updates for Windows 10 and whatever, you're not going to be operating at 100% all the time. You just have the acceptable levels.
Just deal with that stuff and go get. Well, first of all, I'm recommending now to be clear that no matter what you're doing, if you have content that you want to learn to distribute on the internet, you might as well go on and jump up, get the free Wowza account, and play with it at least. You might as well go on and step up, and then look at integrating that with your website, with YouTube, and all the other things, because this is going to allow you to control your content and package everything one place. Superb. Okay, so even though there's a learning curve, it's worth doing. That's the take-home message, and I'm doing it. And Vic and I know we just adjust everything to allow me time to do what it takes to do it. But it's a long-term investment, and that's why we're doing it, because ultimately I'll be able to control every aspect of every stream that we're doing and choose how I'm delivering it. And we're doing this on top of our previous methodologies. We're not stopping anything. We're adding an additional layer of broadcasting, which includes high definition and video on demand, pay-per-view, and subscription services specifically. Okay? All right, so Vic, that's the actionable item stuff that we talked about. Now, anything on that? Any other comments you have on that?
No, I'm good with that, man.
Because we went over that. I just have to. I'll take us through. When you think about it, that's a reasonable amount of time for updating on something that technical. Right. And since it'll be updated up weekly because it's the biggest area of development, as I tie it into the website. Again, getting back to once this is done, then the Roku channel.
Right.
But since developing the Roku channel is what led to me using Wowza.
Yeah.
So now I'm back at using Wowza until we get all that set up, get all the streams set up, all the different testing things set up.
Right.
And then tie it all in and then look at it all. And that's a wonderful state. You could be part of it with us. Just come be part of it. Make sure you join up at paxstereo.tv. Subscribe. And go to the watch. check out so you'll get the drum, follow the links, and be a beta tester for us. Okay? So, Vic, let's tell them about the event then this Sunday.
Now you're talking about Neil's Music. Niels Jipner, that's Jiptner. Usually he comes through here periodically to actually say, hey, look, I want to come in. I'd like to come in on your sessions. He loves what we do. And so I said, why don't we just up the ante and just have you come here with friends and celebrate like you have a new project. It's ongoing, because you always have something new going down. It doesn't matter. And I said, why don't you just bring your friends over and make it something about you guys? And Mario and I will run in the background to make sure it pulls off as a stream, and then you can tell all your friends about it and your associates, and then implement some of the new apps that we're integrating, such as Meerkat, Periscope, or others, to see the success and how that may blend. And it's a reality jam, more so, and it's built in with that. It's an event, not just sit down music go. It's the association, it's the conversation, and you can actually talk with and within the chat rooms of multiple apps, because we got a number of them, from Vimeo to Ustream and live stream, and then Meerkat and Periscope. So we're trying to implement these new techniques. You know, what we're saying is make everything actionable. So when the camera's on, call to action. And typically, if it pulls off the way he wants, it serves as his model, while we're also working towards what we call the free pay-per-view. So a lot of things are happening. So this week at 5 p.m. is what we call our pre-live. It is live, but it's the setup time where we just get together, make sure everything's working in accordance to the requirements for the audio, and setting up the get to know, meet and greet. We'll be doing multiple tasking at that time. So while we're meeting and greeting, we're also testing, and we're live while we're doing it. So we call that an actionable item, meaning that you don't keep the camera off just because you're not ready to go live when the first song. So we're always backing up to say, make it a show. That'll start at 6 o'clock for the effective time of the show, when we just go, hey, 1, 2, 3, bam, go.
So 6 p.m. is showtime.
6 p.m. is showtime. So what I had already talked to you about is that you said, hey, I only need a few moments. So I told him to be here 1 hour before.
Yes, but I mean live. We say showtime. Is showtime his performance showtime?
6.
Or the time we're introducing him to everybody?
Right. No, the time that we're doing, what I call it the pre-live, when they're arriving. Remember, I do the arrival.
We'll get the terms on it. We'll get the terms. I just make a list.
Right.
So what is at 6 o'clock?
That's showtime.
So that's when we introduce the show.
That's the show.
So he has to be set up and on stage prior to that.
That's right.
So he's going to arrive between... at 5?
I said 5.
He's going to arrive, so he's supposed to arrive at 5.
Right. Because we already have the list of requirements. If we need more time...
So he arrives at 5 p.m., but they get to watch him arrive and do all that stuff. That's cool.
Right. That's
the
it.
showtime at 6.
Right.
And the showtime is what, 7?
I gave it a minimum an hour, and then we know how we roll, because we're going to do the photo shoot.
And then followed by Victor.
Right.
So approximately...
hour and a half. That's what I blocked out.
Let's say approximately 1 hour show, right?
Right.
Approximately.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Victor's 30 minutes.
Yeah. That happens, that's almost happening right when it's happening. There is no shutdown. We just go into that mode.
Yeah. So, but that's tentative plan. So, okay, so that means we would be out of here roughly about still 8 o'clock.
Yeah. If anything actually happens beyond, it's because the energy level, and we're trying to make it.
Yeah, we leave it so we have it open, right?
Right. Yep.
And we're going to be setting up the sound stuff. We got the specific requirements. Not complicated.
Right.
And again, making sure that you can watch it in all the ways you're used to.
Right.
Plus, this may be a time for some of you to experiment with the high definition broadcast.
Right.
Okay, so Vic, that sounds good. So I made my notes for that. Now, any other things about that you want to state?
No, the only thing I want to do is make sure that the main focus that we're trying to get out of this that we haven't got before, and I'm going to be telling people are going to go, well, shoot, that's easy. You really don't realize a lot of times that people who are involved in shows do not implement their social media apps. So this is really why we're doing it, to see how well they implement those particular tools, those apps that's on their phone, their smart devices, while they're on the show. That's all we're really trying to get them to change of culture. That's what we're really doing. We're working on that.
Well, if you want to see more about the artist, and he's a very, very accomplished songwriter, producer, in his own right. You got to go take a look. Go to nilsmusic.com, NILSMUSIC.com, nilsmusic.com. Communicate with him. Tell him you saw the stuff here. And then be ready to tune in live on the show for Sunday. And, tell you the truth, because of what we're doing, don't be surprised if we actually are live earlier than that. Mm-hmm. Because if we're doing any kind of setup, I'm very inclined to go live with our artificial intelligence, Alexa, doing it for us. So there's certainly a chance that she may be operating, so you'll get a chance to watch us involved in the setup. Sounds good. Again, nilsmusic.com. Go take a look. Vic's going to show you that page, and you can have it whenever go find out about him and sign up. Let him know you saw it here. Pax Stereo. All right. Hey, Vic, anything else on that?
No, that's it right now, man. Any other updates, I'll just try to find out, if there are any other special guests, anybody that we expect. But it's going to be a nice, controlled environment. I expect it to be nice, personable, and entertaining because he's already been here, done that.
And it's going to be, okay, like we said, it's going to be fun. Hey, you guys, so next item, Morning Coffee returns Monday, September 7th. Be there, new format. It's going to be a shorter show, about 50 minutes, but just as fun, faster pace, just as dynamic, full hot picks, full new sports. And I'm adding the news into the monologue segment. So it's going to be more. We think it's going to be just as enjoyable as before, and allow us to continue to do a variety of things. So that's for PMC wrote to me, and he wanted to know. I'm going to write him back tonight, PMC, that we are returning. PMC, if you need to join the site, you can get that drum, and you'll get those notifications automatically. My brother, it's like, yeah, that's our brother from another mother. Okay, you guys. Now, Vic, I was just wondering, and let me know. If there's any information about the upcoming performances by the two guest DJs. For those of you who don't know, I'll let Vic tell you about it. We've had guest DJs as we've been experimenting and planning, so we wanted them to come through to check out the vibe. So Vic will tell you about that.
Yeah, the information so far is that we have a date. It's September 19th. It's a Saturday. We actually are blocking out what we call a 3-hour block because it's a show. Now, it's a DJ. DJs typically are really trying to get everybody energized, but we're working with DJ Mars Vita, who is leaving town. So we said, why not test this model? Come in on Saturday. We need to concentrate the people in a certain block. Why is it difficult to do that when DJs are used to having clubs where they have span of 5 to 6 hours? Because people can rotate in and out within that time. So we're trying to optimize the visual stimulus of the people all coming at the same time, and we're looking at that the earlier hour gives us more of an advantage than a later hour.
Well, we're working with them. Remember, part of the issue with the DJs, and it's a hard adaptation, is whether or not they're treating the people they're inviting as guests.
That's right.
Or as actors. Right. See, we need for them to sort of get, a certain number, 10 or so, that are actually willing to be actors, to follow instruction, be show. There, do it like a show. Now, but the nature of the DJ business is we DJ'd for a long time, is to have your clients, your customers who hang around you, come to be part of stuff, and then you actually have no control over them. You can ask them to be there, but they may do anything.
That's right. And we're
and we understand.
Yeah, we're prepared. Look, the good thing about it is that at the end of the day, we know what we want to pull off, but the evolution of DJ shows, period, have changed in the last 5, 6, 7 years, which I love what they have done, especially on the international level. But what we're doing is the stimulus of music, which is what we do here, is feature video. Here's artists. But we're having a relationship with people who touch people musically. And when we say, why not have the building of relationships in addition to the videos? Because usually we show videos.
And again, pay-per-view event, free pay-per-view, all the things. Go join. Another incentive to go join up at PaxStereo.tv. Subscribe so you can be part of that. And get your own free admission to these things. So that's Mars Vita, September 19th. Victor, we know the time? What time?
It's 8 to 11 is the block, and we can still do the pre. We do the pre-live. We go, we're going to do that. And that's part. We got to just say this. We always go live before the live show. That's just the nature of how we do it. And hopefully we can get everybody in here, concentrate them at a certain time. We're going to show arrivals. And we'll find out if this DJ will be on point, because he hasn't had any videos like this. This is going to be brand new for him. This is a whole new culture for him.
I'll reach out to him too, and we'll remind him about the actor versus guest thing.
Yeah, good luck.
Even though, like, we'll tell him, we understand that you may not feel like in control, because if it's the finest honeys, you may not be dictating all that.
Right.
And see, and as a young man, I understand. You go like, Mario, so I get it. You can't tell them what to do. You could try to track them. I'm with you. We ain't trying to be unreasonable. So, hey, Vic and I have decided to deal with it for the most part.
It's going to be easy.
It'll be easy. We'll have fun.
Yeah.
So how about DJ Ing?
He hasn't been able to solidify a date yet. Basically, I have to kind of reach out and remind him again. I'm assuming he's back from the Far East.
That's right. Remember, he was traveling. He was traveling.
So he didn't say how long he would be gone. So he said when he returned, he would reach out. So I'm assuming that he's still, because he said it was the end of August, and we're at the end of August right now.
It is, and it's moving forward. Okay, Tuesday night, triple banger. Like we always say, it's hot. Let me get a sip. Mm-hmm. Crystal Light sweet tea. Mm-hmm. That was 0 calories too. All right. So Tuesday night triple banger, 7 p.m. DJ Miko Quiet Storm pre-show. We call it musical foreplay. Theme for this week is Soul to Soul, experiencing a deeper connection. Soul to soul, experiencing a deeper connection. That's DJ Miko live at 7 p.m. Be here for that. I'll be here getting the sounds and firing up La Machina. Okay, at 8 o'clock, the Quiet Storm comes in with Love, Devotion, and Surrender. That's our theme for the Quiet Storm this week, 8 p.m. till 10 p.m. And at 10 p.m., the I Victor is live, right? That's the I Victor is the Victor Allen photo experience featuring our guests and our own lovely hot chocolate. Mika Williams. Victor, is there any secrets you're willing to let them know about this week's show?
Yeah, it's just a real simple thing. I always think people in this day and age like to be challenged. So it's going to be the Mika Williams Challenge. She's going to challenge you streamers on Meerkat and Periscope. You put in a request of what you want her to do: dance, sing, strut, act, exercise. Her goal is to give that to you within reason. Now, within reason, she's not going to be fielding nude contests and undressing, but she will take the most favorite requests and enact them within 10 seconds of selection, completing the whole turn of the segment scene within 1 minute or less. The challenge is, can she enact it quickly and fast? And she's taking direct requests from streaming apps.
That's hot.
Bam.
That's hot. So be there. Remember, we are experimenting. So join the website at paxstereo.tv, subscribe, become a member, look for us, follow us on Meerkat and Periscope, get involved with our extreme social media that we're bringing today. It's innovative, revolutionary. We're incorporating all the latest technology in ways that you can get it right there in one place, okay? So again, we want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Making Pax Stereo, the behind the scenes show where you get to watch us talk about things that we have to do. We hope that the information that we shared tonight will be helpful to you in your decision making. And remember, I told you, I gave you the hint. Go get Wowza. Everybody, peace. Thank you.
What's the use in trying? Ooh, give me chills. Ain't no stopping. So what's the use in trying? Ooh, give me chills. I like the way that you make me feel. Now slide your key in. Ooh, gives me chills. And with your engine trapped between my thighs, it's a power rush, a burning bush. You make me wanna fly. Oh, in and out of this traffic jam. and trying destination. Baby, all I know is that you and me were meant to be. Never let me go. Out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy going through my head. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I never thought that love makes you crazy. I never thought that love makes you high. I only hope that love is forever. I only hope that love never dies. Out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. Feel the wind going through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Never let me go. In and out of this traffic jam, dangerous and without a plan. Fill me up, boy, and let me ride. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. It's crazy going through my hair. So alive, boy, and I'm so scared. Never knew love could move so fast. Crazy love, it's a crazy love. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. What's the use in trying? Crazy love. Give me chills. I like the way that you make me feel.